Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave with Alaskan Homesteading. Today, on so far the coldest day of the year, starting out at, I think we had minus 16 this morning, I have decided that it is time to switch over to the snow tires on the Tahoe. It's one of these yearly tasks. You got to change over to the snow tires or else you're just going to slide around. The reason I decided to do this is I went into town to go get some mail, and boy, it was not safe. The roads got super icy with the ground blizzard that we're having today. It's just, conditions are nasty. So time to get the proper set of shoes on for the winter. I don't know if you'll be able to see it behind me, but up on the mountain peak, there's a ton of spindrift coming off. In town, away from us, we're having pretty serious winds, kind of averaging around maybe 25 to 30 miles an hour with gusts up to at least 45 that I've seen on some weather stations. The forecast was for about 70 mile an hour gusts today, and we're not all the way through this blizzard warning. It extends actually through tomorrow morning. So that's making conditions a little interesting when you're out and about. But in our little pocket of the world here, in a different part of Palmer, it's quite calm. There's really no wind at all today, and that's because that mountain is in the way. We are shielded from the Matanuska winds in this spot just by virtue of that mountain range. If we were in town, we'd be getting hammered. Anyway, let's get started on the project. All right, well, I've got the vehicle in the garage. I've got to go grab the tires out of the Shelter Logic. This Shelter Logic is really one of the best things that I've put together on this property. It makes a really nice covered spot for the parking out here and storage for all the extra tires. It just it gets out of control when you've got multiple vehicles, and you've got two sets of tires for each vehicle so that you have proper winter setup. But I've got this set of studded snow tires in the corner, these Nokians. If you need studded snow tires, I cannot recommend the Nokian Hakkapeliittas enough. They are really world-class tire, and they use them for ice racing in Finland. They're just awesome. I've had these this set here for a few seasons, and they have lasted really well. They've got great traction, and there's not much more I can say. They're just awesome tires. All right, they are directional tread, so they have a direction of rotation. They have to go a certain way, so I have to pick. I only have enough space to do one side at a time inside the garage right now, so I have to make sure I pick two left side tires to work on first. Let's see here. And that is going to be a right side. That's a left. And this one is also a right side. Oh, oh no. That tire's frozen to the ground. There we go. It's almost like I have that board here just for that purpose. There's the other left side. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started here. I've got 4 tires to do and nothing but time right now. There we go. Very nice. those all broken loose. Forgot to set the parking brake. Always good to make sure that's done. To get your tires changed over locally by one of the shops is a little bit of a time-consuming and costly experience. I'm not saying the shops don't do a good job. They do. I took my other vehicle over to one of the shops because I needed new wheel pressure sensors, tire pressure sensors. And that requires different equipment to be able to dismount and remount the tire. About 20 bucks a wheel for the service, which overall I guess it isn't too terrible, but you know, I like doing this stuff myself anyway. It gives me a better chance to inspect things on the vehicle, like got a couple of grease zerks I can hit while I'm in here. That would be good to get those loaded up before I put the wheel back on. There we go. Good. That one went in nice and easy. Okay, let's get this wheel on here. These have fancy lug nuts that take a special adapter. That's the shape of them. The lug nut goes in there, and then it uses the same impact driver. There's always, always, always start your lug nuts by hand, because if you cross-thread them with the impact, you may never notice, and then you will be quite sad. Replacing the lug studs is no fun. It can be done. I've had to do it before, not on this vehicle, but on our travel trailer I had to do it. Let's turn that down to its lowest setting, because we're going to finish this with a torque wrench. Oh, it's okay. I'm taking limits. All right, good. And if I recall correctly, these want 120 foot-pounds. Old trusty torque wrench I've had forever. Yeah, we'll have to lower the vehicle down to get the final torque on here. Good. Consistent. 120 pounds on each lug nut. So that's that's it. That's the process. Now I've got to go do this 3 more times, and then we'll try and program the TPMS sensors. All right, well, I got the 4 wheels mounted back on there with the snow tires. Now I've got to check the pressures and see if I can get the TPMS sensors programmed to the vehicle. All right, well, this gets pretty simple from here on out. I just got to check the pressures, see where we're at, see if we need to make any changes. 31.5 psi, this says. Well, let's check a look on the door jamb. See what it says we're supposed to be at. 30 psi. 31.5 is going to be just fine. And rear is also going to be the same, 30 psi. So as long as we're pretty close and we're about even around all 4, I'll be satisfied with that. Now that I've got the pressures set in the tires, I need to program the TPMS sensors. This little device here, I think I got it on Amazon for, I don't know, 45 bucks or something like that. It's the unit that you use to trigger the sensors to communicate with the onboard computer of the vehicle. There's different ones for different types of vehicles, so if you need one and you don't know what to look for, you can just go on Amazon and search for TPMS tool and then like the year and model of the vehicle, and you'll usually find several different choices, all of them made in China. These things are super cheap, but they do work, and honestly, there's no reason to pay a tire shop to do this for you. This is really pretty easy. Every vehicle is going to have its own procedure for this. In the case of this one, I have looked it up online because I always have to. Every time I do this, I never am smart enough to just write down a cheat sheet for myself, so I always end up Googling it. But the process is simple. You need the key, you need the key fob, and so you set the tires to the right value and turn the ignition on, push and hold lock and unlock on the key fob until the horn sounds, and then use the tire, the learning tool at each tire, starting at the front left, and then the front right, and then the rear right, and then the rear left in sequence to trigger the learning process. So let's get started with that. All right, so we're in the on position. And we'll hold down lock and unlock. There we go. So those 2 little beeps indicate that the tire learning mode is active. Now we go to each wheel and activate the sensor. So it's pretty simple. You've got this button, just one button, and you put it near where the TPMS sensor is on the wheel, and if everything's working correctly, the horn will honk to let you know that it has detected the sensor and programmed it. Sometimes it takes a few tries, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. It could be that at this point, I might need new sensors in this one too. Yeah, I know it's in learn mode, and I know it's ready for the front left tire because the front left turn signal is illuminated. That's how the vehicle tells you that it's ready to program. But it looks like we may be out of luck. Gosh, I hope I don't have to pay for new sensors. I just paid 240 bucks for new sensors for the other truck, and that bummed me out. But that just may be how it is today. I think I'm going to have to go to the tire shop and get new sensors for this truck as well. These ones are a few years old. They run off of a tiny little watch battery that's not replaceable. So if they go bad, you just have to replace the whole sensor. And yeah, I think it's probably going to be about 60 bucks a piece. It is what it is, but it is good to know whether your tire pressures are correct or not. Otherwise you get this annoying warning light on the dashboard the whole time you're driving around, and I don't really like that. Okay, well, that's all the time I've got for this today. Obviously, I didn't get everything done. Sometimes that's just how life is. I'm not going to go to the tire store today, but I'm glad to at least have the proper tires on the vehicle now for the conditions. It was a little scary driving around earlier today in the blizzard winds and icy roads, but I'll have to go make an appointment, get the sensors in there replaced, and then we'll be fine. At any rate, thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you are, give me a thumbs up. If you have something you want to add to what I'm doing here, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you want to see more of this content, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.